are back. I decided to do a full video on putting the wheels on the truck after I got the 2000 Crown Vic Rear End in and the Mustang power steering rack in. I was just going to throw the wheels on that video, but I decided, well, I'll just do a full video, because when you go to the Facebook groups that are devoted to doing like this has, Crown Vic front end, everybody crying and complaining, and you know, just from lack of knowledge, lack of trying, lack of experience, lack of thinking outside of the box. I don't know, but there's so many guys that cry and complain on there because, oh, you have to run, you know, front wheel drive offset, or you got to run Crown Vic wheels, or you got to run Mustang flat face wheels. Well, you don't, obviously. Those have lip. Now, mine is on a full Crown Vic chassis. Doesn't matter, you know, whether you have a F100 frame or this one. The fitment should be about the same. Your F100 frame rails go straight in the same area. The Crown Vic actually kicks out when it goes back to the cab. So you should have no issue fitting these wheels on an F100 frame with a Crown Vic swap. So decided to do a full video on it. You can see how the fitment works. I'll talk about what offset I used and how that works. But here we go, let's get into it. Last up on the list is the wheels. Again, they are American Racing VN510 Draft in the, I can't remember what it's called, vintage silver or antique silver or something. Anyway, they look pretty silver here. Picture I put up online, a guy mentioned that they looked a little bit bronze. They don't, which if they were, I'd be totally fine with that. They just look more vintage silver instead of like a bright silver, which I actually really appreciate on this. I don't need it to be, you know, real bright. It's kind of cool that the lips match the chrome and whatnot. But yeah, really pleased with them. I tried their zero offset, which would be 5.5 back spacing on an 18x10 wheel. In the back, it rubbed the fenders. In the front, it just put it too far out here. So then I got 6-inch backspace, which is their 12 millimeter offset. Worked out awesome in the back. It centered it up. This is on a full modified Crown Vic chassis. In the back, I did smooth off the control arm bolt heads. Not that it's going to rub, because there's about 3/4 of an inch between the tire and that. And with the Watts link on these Crown Vics, the rear end's not going to move that much. You may get a little bit of tire flex, not going to be an issue. And then it's got plenty of fender clearance on the outside. I do have my fenders rolled. When it was up on the lift and I was building the truck, what I did was I kind of folded it, and then I held a 2x4 with a rag around it on the outside, and I just massaged it from about here all the way to right there. So it just gives quite a bit more clearance in there. You can see I got plenty of room to put my hand. It's rolled in nice and smooth, so even if the tire does hit it, it's just, you know, going to be a slight little rub. On the front and back, I have Continental Extreme Contact Sport 02 tires. They are awesome. They're pretty sticky. They handle really well. Front is a 275/35/18 because I wanted it to kind of roll onto the wheel a little bit and curve in so that I would just get that much more fender clearance. The 295, like in the back, 295/35, it fit. But I did get just a little bit of rubbing in here while steering at full lock. So these work great. They don't look all crazy, you know, rolled in too narrow. They fit great. The back fits great. It's nice and squared up. So we'll take a little peek here. I'll show you on here just so you can see that there's no rubbage when it turns. Okay, so we'll go full lock to the right. All right, so let's check that. We have pretty good clearance in there. You will get, maybe, I have not experienced it yet driving, but there's a potential that, like, if you were pulling into a steep driveway diagonally, it might rub. But again, it's just going to be a little bit, if it does. It would be really rare. Okay, let's steer it to the left. Again, it steers really easy. With the height that I have my truck at, it's tighter here, but it hasn't rubbed when I've been out and about. Now, if you were slammed on the ground, obviously it's going to rub. I like this height for the truck. It's got just a little bit. It's got, if you measure the bump, it's got, I think it was about 3/4 of an inch up in the back. So just a little bit of a rake, which I think looks good. The noise, not the power steering pump, it's a fuel pump running. So yeah, overall, super excited. I think it works really well. Let me steer this back the other way. Let's take a peek and see what it looks like here. So yeah, I love the stance of it, man. She's a little bit dirty, but the stance is super cool. Let's go over here, get you a little bit better view. Shop's kind of messy because of me, but that's what she looks like now. I don't know if you can tell how it's raked or not in the video, but let's get a little closer in here so you can see right there. You can see what that looks like in there. Again, it is steered all the way and get an idea of the clearance there. We'll move on to the back. Looks good with a 295 out back. It's not huge, but it's pretty nice, I would say. And I could probably get a little bit wider, but I don't see the need for it. Okay, there it is. You can see I can fit my hand through there. I don't know if you can really see in there too well, but yeah, I have decently large hands and it fits my hand through there, no problem. So I really do like the fit. I like the lip size on them. I think it looks real good, and that 275 definitely looks awesome and meaty up front. I really appreciate you guys coming and watching these videos. It's exciting for me to see the channel growing, and it's much appreciated. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Instagram, Papa Wheelie's World. We got lots of videos on there. We got some decent ones Vince's video went viral with his yellow F100, which was just a silly burnout, but people seem to like it. And we've got a couple others that are doing well on there. But yeah, comment. I like the comments, positive, negative. Negative ones are pretty funny. I may fight back, or I may just sit back and listen. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll get some footage. It's early December here, and if you know Oregon, where we're at, it's rainy. So not too much thrashing to be had, but when it is dry, we'll go out and maybe melt some back tires on this. So later, guys, stay tuned, keep watching, see ya.